Maybe sticking with the region, I'll go to you, Jack, as the Southern Campus President.
Thanks, Michelle.
Introduce yourself.
Howdy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name's Oates Pryor. I'm the 2024 Southern Campuses president. Um, yeah, that's me. Did you want me to run through the questions,
No,
Michelle, or would
I
you
can
like?
interview. I'll interview
Okay, all
you. This
right,
is
love
like
it.
this is a talk show now.
Fun
So, Jack,
times. Yeah.
tell
So,
me,
Michelle.
why did you run for state council?
It's a really great question. I think again for me, there's this sense of responsibility to advocate for those who otherwise aren't able to or don't have a voice at the table. Recognizing that for a degree like theatre and law, communication is a real kind of natural pathway, and so for
Mm,
me, it's really special to be able to advocate for students in these positions, regardless of the state council role, and to be able to have that voice at the table. Not that we always do, but some of the time we do, and yeah, to be able to influence university decision making going forward, from small minutia right through to big, future focused projects in the south. So that was one of the reasons for me of making sure that I can empower the voices of other students around me. Yeah.
I, I think that's a great reason to run. Everyone's got a voice. Everyone yaps, but not everyone will actually deliver it to someone that matters or channel it. What were some of your duties
Channeling the
throughout the
yap.
year? Channeling the yap, literally,
Channeling the
yeah.
yap. I love it.
Oh.
Some of my duties throughout the year. Obviously, the Southern Campus's role is a really interesting and unique kind of mix. There's in the South, there are, depending on how you count them, there are 11 different campuses. So it's pretty a very broad spread. There's about 27% of the student population, at least in 2023, down south. And so it's a fairly substantial group of people on campus who are going through their university experience. And so it's a really important role for gaining student voice and representing that to university. It's a challenge sometimes to get around to all 11 different locations, with the TUSA offices in the south based out at Sandy Bay, and then we've got various different locations in the city, in Hobart City, but then also IMAS down at Taroona. And so to try and represent those different voices on the campuses, that's a really important duty, as well as involving the responsibilities to lead, connect with, and empower the voices of clubs and societies. We've got a substantial number of clubs and societies down in the south, and the leaders and executives from them are, really important student leaders. And so, helping to support and connect with them, that's another really important aspect of the duties. There are lots of other different parts, but I think that those two are some of the core aspects of the Southern Campus's roles. But also looking forward into, well, even currently, but into the future, the Hobart City move in the south is obviously a really controversial and highly politicized topic as well. And so representing student voice, genuine student voice in that, is really important, of helping to influence some major changes to the university going forward. And therefore, as a result, then the broader climate of Tasmania and of education in Tasmania, but also the intersections of higher education and businesses as well. It's certainly an interesting challenge to navigate the Hobart City move as a student representative.
I think I think because we're the only uni in the state, it's always a very interesting challenge
Mm.
considering
Mm-hmm.
like we're probably the only uni that services four different cities,
Yeah.
three different states.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of like each campuses have a very different demographics,
Yeah.
different needs. Yeah, so I can imagine how busy your day today must have been for you. That being said, what was a highlight of the year for you?
Um, I think that for me, again, what was your phrase of focused yap, or something like that? I think
Channeling the
that
yap.
channeling the yap, iconic. I might have to write that down. I think that to me, that's certainly been one of the highlights of the year for me of advocating student voice to university decision makers. And it's always a good day when I can get a university staff member in trouble with their boss because of various different, injustices or logical fallacies, or various different reasons that their decisions are not student focused, or genuinely in the best interests of students. And so I think that that degree of advocacy and representation, that's been such a privilege for me. It's incredibly special to sit with these really special student stories of everyone's got their own unique journey, and to be able to sit and listen to that and then represent that voice at some of the key spaces in UTAS. Yeah, it's a privilege.
Certainly. Thank you for representing the Southern students' voice this year. Oh, my dog's just getting in the screen. What are some of your campaigning tips? Because certainly you win this year. So what's your winning campaign tips?
I think that kind of feeding into the broader theme that we've obviously heard from tonight, I think that to me, one of the key things is reflecting on the demographics that are relevant for the role that you're running for. And so finding, for instance, for me, it's working out how can I effectively have a presence at each of the different locations at useful times throughout the campaign, to connect with students, to talk with them about what their student experience is, and to advocate for why I and the rest of the ticket would be great representatives for them, and how we can go forward to support their concerns and the challenges that they face. So I think that, working out which demographic you're representing in particular, and then targeting that, I think that that's really important, whether that's equity groups, whether that's using social media connections that Liam's got on his Instagram, whether it's whatever it might be. Finding your target group and then focusing on that. I think that that's a really strong start to a really effective campaign.
I'm gonna go a scenic route for a little bit. I know all of you guys, 4 of you, well, 5 of you actually, really? That you guys were in a campaign, like you were also in a ticket before. Would you say that being in a ticket plays a part in winning, like the election to a degree?
I might just jump in quickly, since I've just been answering these previous questions and no one else has unmuted themselves to jump in straight away. I certainly don't think that it's the only thing that will win you an election, not at all. And we've certainly seen that in the past elections, but I certainly do think that it goes a long way. Having a whole team to support you around you throughout that campaign, that makes such a huge difference. And you're obviously then able to elevate your platform and your reach, and so it really does make a difference. And I think that then you're able to develop connections as well, for a really strong, united group of like-minded students. So I think that running in tickets can be a really effective way to campaign.
Beautiful. Thanks for that, Jack.